age-old debate, is rugby better than football? I'm not sure football fans think the same. They think that football is by far the best sport, but for us rugby fans, we think otherwise. So could footballers actually play rugby? In this video, I picked the best 15 footballers for a rugby side. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, hit that like button, and if you're new around here, subscribe to make sure I keep posting all these videos. So at number 1, and who else but Akin Fenwa? He's the strongest footballer, at least according to FIFA anyway. So why on earth wouldn't I put him in my front row? Footballers don't actually tend to be the size of rugby players, but Akin Fenwa definitely comes close, so he's my first pick. With the hooker position, one of your main jobs are to throw the ball in at the line-out, and no footballer can throw as well as Rory Delap. If you follow football just a little bit, you'll know of Rory Delap. His long throw-ins are famous and were destructive throughout his career. So for me, that's a key asset for my team. And to complete the front row, probably the hardest of the whole team, because, as I said, footballers don't tend to be too big. But I've chosen Chiellini. I think if you put Chiellini anywhere, he'll play his heart out with all the passion that he has. So that's my reasoning for that. And not to mention, he's so strong for a footballer. The first of my second rows is Virgil van Dijk. A great defender, he's tall and he's so safe at the back. He can translate that as a safe pair of hands in the line-out. And he can coordinate the whole set piece, so for me, he's a solid pick. Following the same line, we need another safe pair of hands, and where else to look other than a goalie? So that's why Thibaut Courtois is the other second row. He's one of the best goalies in the world, and his ability to catch in swinging crosses lends itself very well to the line-out. So I'm happy with the safe pair of hands in my second row. So traditionally, a 6 gets around the pitch and does all the dirty work. So for that reason, N'Golo Kante is my blindside flanker. Just chosen in the UEFA Team of the Season, Kante's stamina won't let me down, and he'll be able to cover the whole ground, which will be key playing blindside flanker. Similar style of thinking at 7, I've gone with Joshua Kimmich. He just seems like the kind of player to lead from the front, much like a Richie McCaw. He's also a top class defender, so that's definitely handy for tackling, and that's why he's my 7. Number 8 is definitely going to be Romelu Lukaku. His pace and power is the reason for this pick. He's a machine, and like rugby number 8s, he's not scared of contact, so that will be key for carrying into contact. He also knows how to score, another reason why he's my 8. Now into the exciting flair players, and there's plenty of them in football. Lionel Messi is my scrum half. He can do it all, probably one of the best players ever. He's just a little wizard on the pitch, and I can see him now just easing his way through around a ruck. So for that reason, Messi is my scrum half. And he can't pass too bad either. I had a long think about my 10, but in the end I've picked De Bruyne. Every time he plays for Man City or Belgium, he always controls the game how he wants to play. He pulls the strings constantly. And not to mention he can kick a ball pretty well. So De Bruyne will lead my backline. At 12 I've picked Sergio Ramos, which might sound strange, but we've learnt right now that the centres must be intelligent defenders, and he's certainly that. I think Ramos would be a decent ball carrier too, another reason to pick him. Outside centre is the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo. I can just imagine him now on those outside breaks. He's fast, powerful, skillful, much like Brian O'Driscoll. Who knew those two would ever be compared? Ronaldo is also very intelligent in where to be on the pitch, which is needed for defensive and attacking decisions at 13. My left wing is no other than Adama Traoré. What more do you need in a winger? Pace and power, much like Duhan van der Merwe right now. Traoré will rival anyone for speed, so just give him the ball and he'll do the rest. On the other wing, we need another pace and power freak, and that's Kylian Mbappe. Being so young, he's got time to develop physically, so I'm not worried about that. For me, his scoring rate is phenomenal, and will fly past defenders with his pace, so that's why he's in my team. And finally at fullback, probably the least likely player to play rugby, but I've done it anyway. It's Neymar. So hear me out. In football, he's always diving on the floor. But in rugby, a fullback challenges in the air so often right now, and if any contact is made, it's a penalty, and possibly a card for the other team. Do you see where I'm going with this? I think it's a really smart idea, and not to mention, he's got immense talent, which is handy to skip past defenders. So that is my best footballer starting 15. It was just a bit of fun, but let me know any changes you'd make. Probably the front and back row were the most difficult to pick, because footballers just aren't that big. I hope I haven't offended any football fans out there. There's always respect between the two games. So if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.